Building blocks, organizing your presentation. Hey there, my name is Antony P, and welcome to this video brought to you by the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU. The previous lesson in this series, Lesson 1, discussed the purpose and importance of academic presentations and explored the basic structure of an academic presentation. This is Lesson 2 on how to organize your presentation. This lesson has two main sections. Section 1, defining the components of a well-structured presentation, and Section 2, techniques for organizing the introduction, body, and conclusion of a presentation. All right, let's go. Section 1, defining the components of a well-structured presentation. Building a presentation is challenging because there are so many components. Component means one part of many. So, let's make the presentation designing process easy by defining its components. Component 1, aesthetics. This is a difficult word to say. Let's practice. Aesthetic. 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 A presentation with good aesthetics means it is beautiful, well-designed, and easy to read. A presentation with good aesthetics is simply easier to follow and more enjoyable for the audience. Use standard fonts such as Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman. Use colors that show up well on a projector screen. I like to use black, dark blue, red, and green. Keep titles the same size and in the same locations. Keep bullets the same size and in the same locations. Avoid writing too much on one slide. Use large fonts on all graphs for easy reading. Use high-resolution images that are relevant to the topic. Component 2, clear introduction. Introduce your presentation strongly by stating your name, your university, your presentation title, by thanking the audience for attending, and by delivering a hook that grabs their attention. Lastly, clear introductions end with an agenda. Component 3, clear section titles. Use clear section titles before moving to a new topic. I like to put in the section titles in the middle of a slide, all on their own. This lets the audience know that you are leaving one topic and moving into a new part of your presentation. Component 4, clear body. The body of your presentation separates your main points into different sections. For example, Section 1 can be your literature review and the review of the current situation, and Section 2 can discuss your study's methodology. The body of your presentation presents data in the form of charts, tables, and graphs. The body can also contain schematics and diagrams. All of these visuals help the audience understand your research and focus. Component 5, engagement and interaction with the audience. A fun engagement opportunity for most presentations is question and answer, Q&A. You can also give your audience a quiz or ask for a participant. Component 6, call to action. If your presentation has a specific purpose, such as persuading or motivating, include a clear call to action for the audience. For example, we strongly recommend you avoid purchasing single-use plastics. Component 7, handouts and materials. Provide handouts or additional materials to support the audience's understanding. If I have an activity for the audience, I often provide them with a piece of paper that has the instructions listed. They often use the paper to complete the assignment. Component 8, clear conclusion. Conclude strongly by including a summary. Recap the main points and key takeaways. Restating your thesis. Reiterate your main message or thesis. Making a closing statement. End with a memorable or impactful closing statement. Be careful. Do not introduce any new information during the conclusion of your presentation. In Section 1, we defined the components of a well-structured presentation. Now, let's move on to Section 2, techniques for organizing the introduction, body, and conclusion of a presentation. A well-structured presentation tells a clear story. I like to think of a presentation as the presenter taking the audience on a journey. However, there are many ways to tell a story. So here are a few techniques you can use when organizing any section of your presentation. Technique number 1, chronological order. Chronological organization presents facts or items in the order that they happened. You will often hear, first we did this, then we did that. Chronological order is an easy and clear way to organize many presentations. Technique 2, step by step. Step-by-step organization presents information in defined chunks. This technique is often used when describing a methodology or process. You will often see step 1, step 2, step 3 written on the slides. Technique 3, STAR. STAR stands for Situation, Task, Action, and Result. This technique is popular for its logical flow. S, situation. Begin your story by describing the context or situation. This could be the location, time, or people involved. Task. Explain the specific task or goal you needed to achieve within that situation. A, action. Describe the steps you took, your thought process, and specific behaviors you exhibited. This part should make up the bulk of your response. And lastly, R, result. Explain what happened as a result of your efforts and emphasize any positive impacts or achievements. Quantify your results whenever possible, using numbers, percentages, or specific data. Charts and graphs are encouraged. Technique number 4, P.E.P. P.E.P. stands for point, example, point. I like this technique for its simplicity. P, point. State your point or opinion concisely. E, example. Give an example that highlights your point. Tell your story. And P, point. Restate your point or opinion concisely again to solidify learning. Technique number 5, P.E.R.P. P.E.R.P. is the same as P.E.P. but with an added R that stands for reason. State why you chose this plan, or why did your plan work? And lastly, technique 6, P.E.C.P. P.E.C.P. is the same as P.E.P. with an added C that stands for counterexample. This is great to show your in-depth knowledge of your topic. C, counterexample. State what would have happened if you did something different. What was an alternative course of action? A fun fact about these techniques is that they also work great for sales presentations, interview answers, and business negotiations. Again, my name is Antony P. from the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU. Thanks for watching. In this video, we learned about the components of a well-structured presentation and techniques for organizing the introduction, body, and conclusions of a presentation. The next video in this series is Lesson 3, Crafting an Engaging Introduction. Techniques for capturing the audience's attention in a presentation's introduction and creating a clear and focused thesis statement for a presentation. I'll see you there.